Welcome to the Thunderbird cabin. This is a project my husband and I have been working on for over a year now. There are 3 buildings on the property, a garage and garage bunkie, then down a staircase to the main cabin, and then down a staircase to the Boathouse Bunkie. So we're standing here in the main hub of the space. The cabin is positioned on Upper Stoney Lake in Ontario, and it is a beautiful Canadian cottage landscape. Everything is built into the Canadian Shield. You'll see huge mature trees surrounding you, and the water is deep and beautiful. My husband and I purchased this property sight unseen, and we could tell from the pictures they had a home inspection and everything, so we knew what we were getting into, but it was pretty dated, pretty rough. And in order to change it from a 2-bedroom, 1-bath into a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, we had to reconfigure the whole main floor. The vibe that I was after in this space, it was basically a nod to nostalgia. So I grew up at a cottage in the Thousand Islands, and my aunts and my grandmothers were artists, and so they would like paint the deck orange and paint the outside green, and they weren't afraid of color. And so a lot of these pieces spoke to that cottage that I kind of grew up at. Once the plasticky wood on the walls came out, it was really a game changer. So lightening up the space and then playing with texture so that it feels very warm and cozy was the play there. The dining room, we kept simple for a reason. It's all about the view here. You're basically sitting here looking out at the lake. It feels like you're almost cantilevered over the lake, and it's really a special spot to dine. We jazzed things up with some original art prints from Karen Coombs and a table that extends out. There are extensions that put on, so if you're hosting a big crowd, you can certainly eat into that fireplace cozy space. But yeah, it's a really special place to eat. My original idea was to take out the fireplace and put in one of these cool, like mid-century modern ones hanging from the ceiling, but budget and time just did not allow it. And once we did demo and took everything else out, we realized it was quite beautiful as it was. So what we did was we used a product called Permatint. It's just a stain, so it's not gonna chip, it just gets absorbed by the natural stone. We stained it all black, and then we squared off the top and decided to redo the top of the fireplace with a charred wood, which is a method called shosugi-ban. So we actually took the wood out to the deck, took a tiger torch to it, lit it on fire, and that actually makes it indestructible. People use it for outdoor siding and things like that. But here it just adds texture and warmth. The area around the fireplace, to me, really wasn't big enough to have a big sofa in there, but really that's one of the cozier areas of the cabin, especially in the winter, but even in the summer. So my idea behind that was to put 2 chairs that swiveled so someone could be sitting in there having a morning coffee and talking to someone making breakfast, or at night, kick your feet up and read a book there. I think it's just a really cozy little spot. The kitchen, I wanted to mix my regular modern aesthetic with this nod to nostalgia. So when we first got the cabin, there was a lot of scalloped cabinetry and details on the hood and things like that that felt quite dated the way they were, but I wanted to bring that back in to keep with the character of the cabin. So we did a scalloped hood that's rounded. We also did an island that's rounded with terracotta looking tiles. We brought in some warmth through some wood on the island, so the countertop is a mix of oak and quartz. And then of course we had to create a home for a custom charcuterie board, because when you come up to the cabin, you want to pull that baby out, put your charcuterie out, grab a glass of rosé, and then that's dinner. We took a little bit of a risk and put terracotta kitchen cabinets in here because we fell in love with that color and it's very cool. And we finished off the last half of the kitchen with it's actually a laminate, but it's textured, so it looks like white oak, but it's completely durable. So if you have kids and dogs and cats and whatnot, you cannot destroy it. And it conceals our fridge and freezer, it conceals our pantry, and it has a little appliance garage, again, to tuck all of those things you don't really want to see away. The pendants in the kitchen we call the cloud pendants because they look like little clouds, and they're kind of meant to add a little bit of whimsy but not distract you from the main show, which to me is the terracotta scalloped hood and the cabinetry. So because we had to reconfigure the upper floor to make the bedrooms and bathroom situation work, that created a new entryway in what was their kind of sunroom addition. We have a bench and a coffee table made out of local timber, and it's really a different space than the rest of the cabin. That's actually my favorite space to sit down and watch the lake and watch life happen at the lake, but we went with a very moody paint color. It's called raccoon fur, so I thought it was very fitting. And we have a big oversized hat light that creates drama but also feels cozy. our thought was pure comfort, right? So if I'm gonna do leather, which leather is beautiful and durable, I want it to feel worn and like it was always there. So we did a big oversized, soft, buttery leather sectional. We paired that with a vintage Moroccan rug layered on top of a jute rug. We have a cozy boucle side chair. And then we just did an eclectic mix of pillows so that everyone can kick their feet up and relax and enjoy. We added in a little touch of Kate Goulding wallpaper into all the bedrooms because frankly, I'm in love with all of her wallpaper designs and they just scream Canadian cottage to me. The one in the principal bedroom is called Canadian Shield, so it felt appropriate in there. So another big design detail and a big win for us during this renovation was the vaulted ceilings in there as well. It felt very dark and closed and kind of cavernous-like. So once we demoed everything to get that extra ceiling height, almost makes it feel like the bedroom's twice the size. The ensuite. And we just kept things very mute and monochromatic with a green tile on the wall, and you'll see hits of green throughout the cabin. The vanity is a warm walnut, so it is a little bit of a departure. You'll see a few different woods throughout the cabin. There's a cute little art piece of a bathing suit. All of the art you'll see throughout the cabin is kind of cheeky and fun and just reminds you of where you are and what you should be doing while you're here, which is go jump in the lake. In the bunk room, we built in 2 bunk beds and then we have a little twin bed that pulls out with a trundle so you can actually sleep 4 people in there, and it's quite cozy. We carried through that dark forest green color everywhere, and then the pop of fun is the geese on the ceiling. The final bedroom has a wallpaper called Sardines, again by Kate Goulding. It's just a school of fish swimming across. We go fishing a lot. We fish right off the dock. We fish out in the boat. It's our favorite thing to do, so we want a little bit of nod to that in there. And then we have a traditional antique looking bed, juxtaposition in front of that, and a little mint trim wall. The color scheme from the cabin, you'll see little repeats throughout. So in the main bathroom, we have, again, a kind of a terracotta colored brick looking tile on the wall. And then we continued the mint penny tile on the floor, which really is kind of like a little foot massage. And then we kept everything else in there neutral with a white vanity and some fun asymmetrical lighting off to the side. Welcome to the Boathouse Bunkie. Let me give you a tour. So the thing that is so special about this bunkie is you're basically cantilevered over the lake. So when you wake up, you feel like you're floating on top of the lake, and it's so beautiful. There's views all around. Got a nice sliding door. You can come out and hang out on the patio and have your morning coffee. And it's just a really special part of the property. So the vibe of the Boathouse Bunkie is a little bit different from the rest of the cabin, and I think we just wanted it to feel calm and serene and relaxing and just kind of play off all of those beautiful water tones. We've done that through fabrics and the pillows. We've done that with a nice soft headboard, really neutral bedding, and bringing in some wood tones like in this primitive bench. And we've put in a nice rattan chair in the corner so that you can wake up, sit down, have your coffee, and look out at the lake. Another nice feature in the Boathouse Bunkie is the dresser has these really cute little leather pulls on it, and it's kind of the same leather of the sectional upstairs, so it's another connecting thread. The Boathouse Bunkie is my personal favorite place to sleep. It's kind of like a mini version of the cabin, and you don't get the hustle and bustle of the rest of the cabin. So if you have guests up or you've got kids here or whatever the case is, you can sleep in here and feel like you're in your own private oasis. It's hard to describe how much work actually went into this property. My husband led the build and he had an amazing team here with him, but we are built into Canadian Shield on a hill. And so the logistics of that is that everything needs to be brought up and down the hill, tools, material. So I think we're all a little bit more fit after this project. And now getting to come down and knowing all the blood, sweat, and tears that went into it, I just feel really proud walking around and getting to soak it all in and use it and enjoy it.